Hey everyone, and welcome to BFX. Here on the show, we've built a lot of cool weapons, but this week we're going to show you how to build something new. The Good Samaritan pistol from Hellboy. I was rewatching the Hellboy movie and realized that I really need a giant-sized pistol. A quick web search turned up this full-scale replica, which is cool, but it cost $400. Let's see if I could build one for cheaper. A piece of scrap 2x4, 2 cheap hand saws, 3 brass squared tubes, a leftover dowel, 3 tubes of plumber's epoxy, 1 of these rope cleats, 1 pound of plaster of Paris, a recycled toy gun, more scrap wood, miscellaneous hardware, and an old door stopper.
We're here live.
Did I get through here? I'm very interested in this topic of the night.
Yeah. It's time we get down to real business.
That's
here, right,
right,
Lloyd.
You're an idiot, Penalty.
Okay, before diving into the build portion, let me tell you this. Building this gun was one of the most labor-intensive projects to date. Virtually everything on this gun is either custom or fabricated in some way. So bear with us as we try to explain.
So our Good Samaritan is going to consist of 4 main parts: the frame, the barrel, the cylinder, and the back. We'll also be adding a lot of extras. The frame and handle are made of 2 thin, cheap saw handles glued together and covered in plumber's epoxy for added shape. The top part of the barrel is just a piece of 2x4 with 4 30-degree cuts. The lower section of the barrel is a chunk of wooden dowel, which I secured with 2 custom bent and trimmed L-brackets. There is a squared copper rod between each section, and it's further enforced with plumber's epoxy. The cylinder should have been an episode in itself. We started by gluing 4 leftover epoxy tubes to the bottom of an old aluminum can. We also glued in a copper tube in the center, then filled it with plaster of Paris. After the plaster cured, we had to cut the can away, then carefully tap out the plastic tubes. This gave us the basic barrel, which needed additional sculpting and sanding. After a lot of tender loving care, the cylinder is done.
Alright everybody, it's now 6 a.m. I worked through the night. Got your 2x4. You've got these 2 of these little copper square tubes and tiny little nails nailing into the top. This is a piece I made out of some more tubing that I hammered out and bent, and then plumber's epoxy in the middle. This is that door hinge thing, and this is like this sort of. And I just cut it in half and put it on either side. And the trigger is just hot glued in there. It's pretty freaking hefty. This gun and that gun. Mine doesn't open, spins. But if you want it to open, then buy the $400 one. I want to die and have to go and pack some clothes and fly cross country. See you next week.
Back from California, I set out to finish the build. First step, take the lid from the aluminum can and cut it in half, then glue to the rear of the cylinder. Next, bore out the barrel with a large drill bit, then add more plumber's epoxy to thicken out the rear of the gun. Before paint, I went over the gun with some wood putty to smooth it out. The paint consisted of about 5 coats, 1 primer, 2 silver, and 2 anodized bronze. The final step is to distress the gun. Basically scratch up the paint where it would be worn and add black paint where there would be oil buildup. Add a BPRD seal and a little strip of leather to the bottom and you are done. I told you it was a complicated build, so if you have any questions, log on to the Indy Mogul forums and ask them right here.
Hey, Chet. Okay, it's zombie apocalypse. You can have 1 weapon, any kind, and 1 celebrity ally. Who would it be?
Ryan Seacrest.
That's your celebrity, Ryan Seacrest? Lame. Let's just talk about the weapon. This isn't Dennis the Menace versus the Zompocalypse, bro. You need something big. You need something heavy with firepower.
I don't think your mom's a good weapon.
Shut up, butthole. You need the Good Samaritan.
Good what?
The Good Samaritan from Hellboy. The Samaritan is an oversized, uniquely large caliber 4-round revolver. It fires its custom-made bullets with adequate power to easily penetrate virtually any material. The metal of the gun is forged from a combination of Irish church bells, cold iron from crucifixes, blessed silver, and other mystic metals.
How do you know so much about that gun?
Wikipedia.
Huh.
And are you still sure about Ryan Sissy Boy Seacrest as your celebrity?
Well, I was gonna go with a fused version of Gary Busey and Nick Nolte, but what about their love child?
Who?
The name's Nary Bolte, and I'm here to save your brains.
Awesome!
Yeah.
Freeze frame high five ending. Lame.
You zombie bastards! You killed my dads!
Alright, that wraps up this week's episode, but remember that you can combine this gun in our demon makeup episode to make a killer Hellboy costume. I'm also curious which one of our DIY weapons is your favorite so far. Was it the ray gun, the BFG, the death ray, or the Good Samaritan? Let us know by leaving a comment down below. By the way, we didn't get paid to make this episode. We just did it because we love the Hellboy movies and giant oversized guns. But maybe one of you guys knows Guillermo del Toro, so pass him along the episode and maybe he'll like it.
This is my quick tip on how to get really nice smooth camera pans. Use a rubber band on your tripod arm and it'll act as a shock absorber to get a nice smooth start and have a nice smooth finish.